Hi everyone, welcome to this beautiful morning here in Sydney. My name is Sophia, a yoga teacher, and today we're going to be doing a 45-minute slow flow. So slow flow will all be about focusing on, easing through our transitions gracefully using the breath. And we'll also do a bit of holding postures, but not too much, but just really focusing on easing through transitions and making them look as graceful as possible. And yeah, when you're ready, all you need is just a mat, maybe some water next to you, no equipment, and let's get started. So when you're ready, just come to a nice kneeling position on the mat. So sat on the heels, if that's comfortable, or just cross-legged on a cushion, whatever feels good for you. So we're going to start by just closing our eyes down and maybe just focusing on the breath, taking a big inhale in through our nose. And then let's just sigh it out. Maybe one more, really deep inhale in through the nose. And let it go. Letting go of everything beyond the borders of your mat. And just arrive in the space. Just remember throughout the practice, just be kind to your body. And just don't go anywhere where it feels painful. Just respect your body's limitations. Amazing. All right, when you're ready, we're going to drop the chin. And we're just going to do a couple neck rolls. So rolling the neck from side to side in a semicircle. Exploring the movement as we go. Remember to incorporate the breath. Maybe activating your ujjayi breathing, so slightly constricting the back of the throat, almost like you're misting up a pane of glass. I was trying to think of the right analogy for that just in that second. Okay, maybe drawing slightly bigger semicircles. Breathing into any edges of discomfort. Maybe you've just woken up and you just need a bit more breath with the movement there. Amazing. All right, coming back to center. Let's roll over onto our all four position. So making sure wrists are underneath shoulders, knees are underneath hips. In our nice little tabletop position, we're going to be doing a couple cat-cows. So let's inhale, pick up the chest towards the sky. And exhale, pushing the floor away, rounding the back, nose to belly button. Inhale, curl the tailbone up, open the chest, looking up, in my case, towards the sun. And then exhale, rounding the back, nose to belly button. Doing a couple more in your own time. Maybe keeping the eyes closed or open. Just enjoying this nice sensual movement. Amazing. Maybe last one here. Okay. Great. So we're going to be doing next some mini vinyasas. So keeping in our tabletop, we're going to roll the shoulders back. And we're just going to gently drop the chest all the way to the floor, keeping the elbows tucked in. We're going to inhale, rolling the shoulders back, cobra. And then we're just going to exhale, push the floor away, send the hips back into our child's pose. I like to call this one a little mini vinyasa. Let's inhale, come up towards our tabletop. Exhale, elbows tucked, dropping the chest. Inhale, rolling the shoulders back, cobra. Exhale, push the floor away, child's pose. A couple more in your own time, just moving through very gracefully, slow transitions, waking the body up. Amazing. All right. When you have arrived in your child's pose, let's untuck the toes and send the hips up into the sky for our first downward facing dog. So making sure we can get set up here. So starting from the fingertips, making sure they're completely spread. You've got a great grip on the mat. Elbows slightly bent, shoulders rolled in and down. And in my case, I'm hypermobile, so I really need to keep a bend in my elbows. And then I tuck my tailbone up, sending it to the sky, making sure I'm pushing the floor away. And the key for a downward facing dog is to keep the back straight. In time, the legs will straighten and the heels will drop. But particularly for the first downward facing dog, keeping the knees bent because you might not have enough space there. See, I can't get my heels down right now, and that's not necessarily the goal. Last couple breaths here. Remember activating our Ujjayi breath. Sound of the ocean, which is quite fitting because we're right next to it. Okay. All right. We're going to do a couple of waves, which are also quite fitting because we're right next to some waves. So coming onto our tiptoes, we're going to roll over them and come towards a plank on the inhale. Making sure shoulders are over wrists. And then on the exhale, we're going to bend the knees, send the hips up towards the sky. In a wave, inhale, moving slowly up towards a high plank. Exhale, bending the knees, send the hips up to the sky. Inhale, rolling over the shoulders, pushing the floor away, rounding the upper body. Exhale, bending the knees, sending the hips back up to the sky. Again, a couple more in your own time. Maybe building the movement slightly bigger as you start to create a bit more space in the body. Amazing. All right, last one here. And we meet in a downward facing dog. Okay, with the knees bent, let's walk them gently up towards our hands, coming into a lovely forward fold. Now this is my favorite thing to do, straight into ragdoll. So clasping the elbows and just releasing the upper body all the way down and just rocking from side to side. Releasing all of the upper body, releasing the neck, maybe yes to no. Just feel this lovely release. Keeping the knees slightly bent. Okay.
All right, letting the hands go. And we're going to activate the glutes here to protect the lower back. And we're just going to gently roll up one vertebrae at a time. Maybe keeping the eyes closed just to feel lovely interconnectedness. All the way up to standing. Maybe taking a nice big deep breath here in through the nose. Sip in a little bit more air at the top and then let it go out through the mouth. Amazing. Fabulous. Let's move on to our main flow. Remember, slow movements, ease in and out of transitions. Let's go. Inhale, arms up towards the sky. Maybe slight back bend. Exhale, hinge at the hips, moving the chest towards the thighs, forward fold, knees slightly bent. Inhale, halfway lift, shoulders roll back and down. Maybe hands placing on shins or the back of the legs. Exhale, fold, planting the hands, taking a big step back to our high plank. Okay, either drop the knees, chest to the floor, or full chaturanga with me. So coming onto our tiptoes on the inhale, and then exhale, lower halfway, shoulders tucked in. Inhale, rolling the shoulders back, upward facing dog. Exhale, rolling the toes, send the hips back into our downward facing dog. Amazing. Stay here for 2 breaths. Just center ourselves. Great. All right, let's pick up our right foot and send it up towards the sky, coming into our 3-legged dog. Inhale. Let's exhale, bring the knee towards the right elbow. Hold here. Take an inhale. And then exhale, place that right foot gracefully down. Spin the left foot out to 90 degrees. We're going to come into our warrior 2. Let's pick it up. Inhale. Exhale, go deeper into our warrior 2. Amazing. So just making sure we're set up warrior 2, making sure our feet are in one straight line, and looking down we should be able to see our big toe, and our knee should be directly over the ankle here. Arms parallel, relaxing the shoulders, tailbone tucked in, and a nice smile, which I forget to do in a lot of these videos. All right, 2 more breaths here. Last inhale here. Stay for the exhale. All right, let's inhale, straighten that front leg. Leaning forward, sending our right hand down, left arm lifts, triangle. Exhale. Opening the chest towards the sky on the inhale. Twist on the exhale. Maybe placing the hand either, if it's available to you, on the floor or hovering on the shin. Triangle is actually quite a bit of work. You're using your main core here if we're doing it correctly. So not to dump into that lower right arm. 2 more breaths here. One last inhale. Stay for the exhale. All right. We're going to inhale our left hand, and we're going to tuck it on the inside of our right thigh. We're going to bend in that right knee and send the right arm up over. Coming into a extended side angle variation. Opening the chest towards the sky. This is a tough one. 2 more breaths here. Use the breath. Focus the mind. Amazing. All right, last inhale here. And on the exhale, we're going to push that from that right foot and come all the way up into our star. Turning the toes in, we're going to come into our Skandasana. So hands meet prayer, lunge into our left. Looking maybe to the side, foot flexes. Inhale, coming to center. Exhale, bending the right knee over to the right. Take an inhale here. And then exhale, we're going to plant that right hand on the floor, the back of the mat, coming into our easy twist. So left arm reaches up to the sky. All right, 3 breaths here. Making sure we're pushing the floor away, opening the chest towards the sky. One last inhale here. Stay for the exhale. Okay. All right, looking down at that right hand, we're going to push the floor away. We're coming into our side plank. So pushing the floor away on the inhale. Exhale, take that top left foot and place it down next to your right side plank. Looking at the spot in front of you, 3 breaths. Maybe challenging yourself by picking up the top foot. 2 more breaths. Shaking today. Love it. Shake through it. 1 more breath. And then exhale, placing that left hand onto the mat. Coming into our high plank. Okay, you know where we're going. Let's inhale at the top. And then drop the knees or full chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog. And then exhale, let's go back to our downward dog. 3 breaths. Maybe we can get the heels down a bit more, but really making sure that back is straight. Head is floppy. These are also all reminders to myself as well. Okay, we're going to do the left side now. So when you're ready, we're going to inhale the left foot up towards the sky, 3-legged dog, squaring the hips. We're going to exhale, bring that left knee towards the left elbow. Hold. Take an inhale here. And then we're going to exhale, drop gracefully that left foot, spin the right foot out, push the floor away, coming up to our warrior 2. Amazing. Remember the cues. 3 breaths. Maybe go slightly deeper if it's available to you. Relax the shoulders. Last inhale here. Stay for the exhale. All right, moving to triangle. So inhaling, straightening that front leg, leaning forward, sending that right arm up to the sky. Exhale, opening the chest towards the sky. Don't forget to smile. Hovering on the floor if it's available to you. Use that core. 2 more breaths here. And 1 last inhale. Stay for the exhale. And then inhaling our right hand all the way around, tucking it on the inside of our left thigh. Bending that left knee. Send that right hand up. Extended side angle variation. This is a tough one, so 3 breaths. Maybe closing the eyes down. Last inhale here. Stay for the exhale. Okay, looking down. Inhaling and then exhaling. Push the floor away, sending the hands up towards the sky. Turn in that left foot. So we're facing the side of the mat. Taking an inhale here. And then exhale, Skandasana, side lunge, flexing that left foot. Exhale. Inhale, coming back to center. Exhale over to the left. Take an inhale, coming onto the top. And then exhale, placing the left hand onto the floor, easy twist. 3 breaths. Opening the chest towards the sky. All right. Last inhale here, looking down, you know where we're going. We're going to push the floor away, coming into our side plank. Sending that right foot on top of the left. Maybe challenge lifting that top foot up. Maybe looking up at the top hand. 2 more breaths here. Last inhale here. And then exhale, place that right hand down. Coming into our high plank. And taking an inhale here, move through your vinyasa. Inhale to upward dog. And exhale, coming back to our downward facing dog. All right, let's just reset here in our downward facing dog. Either drop your knees and move into a child's pose, or we're just going to stay here for 3 intentional breaths. All right. The good news is we're going to do it all over again. So you already know the flow, which is great. Maybe the slightly bad news is we're going to move through it a bit quicker, but still using the slow transitional movements. So it's going to be fun. A bit like a dance. Okay? So let's inhale our right foot up towards the sky. Exhale, bring the knee towards the right elbow. Touch. Inhale here. Exhale, planting that foot. Spinning the left foot round, warrior 2. Inhale here. Exhale, drop into that warrior 2. Take an inhale here. Lean forward, straighten that front leg, send that left hand up to the sky. Triangle. Taking an inhale here. And then exhale, let's move that left hand on the inside of our right thigh, sending that right hand up. Extended side angle. Take an inhale here. And then we're going to push the floor away, coming into our star, spin the feet in. Skandasana, exhale on the left. Inhale, moving to center. Exhale, Skandasana on the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, easy twist, placing that right hand down, spin the left hand up to the sky. Inhaling here. Exhaling, side plank, left foot on top of right. Taking an inhale here. And then exhale, place that left hand onto the mat. Inhaling at the top, and then exhaling. Shavasana. Sorry, not Shavasana. Upward dog. Not yet. Downward facing dog. Okay, you know the pace. Slow transitions, moving gracefully. Inhaling, left foot up, three-legged dog. Exhaling, left knee, touch left elbow. Inhale. Exhale, place that left foot down, spin the right foot, warrior two. Inhale here. Exhale, deeper with our warrior. Inhale, leaning forward, straighten that left leg, sending that right hand up. Exhale. Triangle. Inhaling, right hand up towards the inside of the thigh, bend that left knee. Exhale. Inhale, coming up to stars, spin that left foot out. Exhale, Skandasana on the right. Inhale to center. Skandasana on the left. Flex that right foot. And then inhale, easy twist. Left hand down, right hand up to the sky. Take an inhale here. And then exhale, let's move that right foot on top of the left. Side plank. One more inhale here. And then exhale, let's move through your vinyasa. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. Amazing. Okay. Let's just take a couple breaths, drop the knees, and come into our lovely child's pose. So big toes to touch, spread the knees apart, sending the chest to the floor. Couple breaths here. Maybe rocking the forehead from side to side on the mat. All right, amazing. Okay, we're going to come up and transition to our bums. So either crossing the ankles and just rolling over them, coming onto the bum, legs out in front. Wow, the sun is really lighting me up today. Okay, coming into our reverse tabletop. So this one's really good for the back of the arms, strengthening, upper body strengthening. We're going to place our feet onto the floor and sending our hips up towards the sky. Okay, so holding here, let's take an inhale at the top, maybe letting the head go, and then exhale, we're going to send our hips through our arms. Inhaling, pushing the floor away. Exhale, hips go in between hands, flexing the feet, pushing the floor away. Inhale, sending the chest up. Exhale, pushing the floor away, hips in between hands. Inhale, maybe letting the head drop. Exhale, moving intentionally with the breath.
for our slow flow. All right, last one. Okay, hold here, pushing the floor away, 3 breaths. Two more breaths, we can do this. Think of that lovely upper body. Now we're going to form one more breath here. Push the floor away. And then exhale, lower the bottom to the floor. All right, maybe giving those wrists a bit of a shake out. Just rotating them in circles. Having a nice big smile on your face. Inhaling here and exhale. We're nearly there. You've done really well if you made it here so far. Okay. All right, let's do a nice little twist before we finish. So straightening the left leg, we're going to pick up the right in towards our chest, and we're going to place that right foot over the left thigh. Coming into half Lord of the Fishes. No idea why it's called that. We're going to send the right hand behind us and make sure it's stabilized. Inhaling our left arm up to the sky, creating space already. And then exhale, let's hook that left elbow on the outside of our right knee, twisting the body to the right. Relaxing the right shoulder. Inhaling to elongate. Exhale to twist. Maybe you can even look behind you. 3 breaths here. Flexing that left foot. All right. One last inhale here. And then on the exhale, we're going to release the twist, and then we're going to spin ourselves to the opposite side, the left side. And placing the hands in front, just counter twist by bending down, lowering the chest to the floor. And then inhaling, coming back up. All right, let's swap the legs. So extending that right, picking up the left, hugging the knee in towards the chest, maybe already creating some space. Place that left foot on the outside of our right thigh, hugging it in. Rolling the shoulders back, placing that left hand to stabilize behind us already. Inhaling, right hand up to the sky. Exhale, hook onto the left thigh. Inhale to elongate. Exhale to twist. Flexing that right foot, 3 breaths. Making sure the left foot is placed down. Relaxing the shoulders. Maybe closing the eyes. One last inhale here. And then on the exhale, we're going to unravel ourselves, counter twist on the right. All right. All right, we're getting there, So we're going to come down all the way towards the mat. Penultimate pose before we close. Again, one of my favorites, happy baby. So picking up the feet and clasping the big toes with the peace fingers, so the second and third finger, and just bringing the knees towards the armpits and just maybe gently rocking over that lower back.
breathing. Maybe this is the time that you just thank yourself for showing up on the mat today. I hope you feel better after that lovely practice. Just remember what your body can actually do for you. You have such a strong body, it takes you everywhere. This is a way of rewarding it. All right. Okay. So making your way gently into Shavasana, maybe sending your heels up towards the sky and engaging the core. Last core exercise, gently just lowering the legs all the way towards the mat as slowly as possible, engaging that core. Amazing. All right, we're going to do one more breath. We're going to inhale. We're going to tense up our fists, tense every muscle in our body, flex our feet, tense the glutes, tense the chest, tense the shoulders. We're going to take a big inhale here, sip in a bit more air at the top, and then we're going to exhale and release. Maybe let's do it one more time so you know what to do. Inhale, take it all in, tense, tense, tense. Flex, flex, flex. Inhale, sip in a bit more air. And then exhale, release the body. Shavasana. So making sure the feet are wide apart, they're relaxed, hands, fingers curled. Just surrender that body to the earth. This period of rest is exactly when our body absorbs all of the good work that we've done during the practice. So really give it that time it deserves to recover. And let's get stronger. Recovery is also productive. And just focus on the breath. If your mind wanders, just always recentering back on the breath. And maybe your happy place. And just enjoy these last couple minutes in complete stillness and silence. Okay, maybe deepening the breath, waking up the inside of the body first. Maybe wiggling the fingertips, wiggling the toes. Also, feel free to stay in Shavasana if that is comfortable to you, completely your choice. And lifting the hands up overhead if you're going with me, giving yourself a nice big stretch. And then bringing the knees in towards the chest. Giving yourself a nice big hug. And either dropping to one side or gently rocking up all the way to a seated position onto our mat. Either with your eyes closed or open. Resting the hands on the knees, rolling the shoulders back. Let's take a nice big inhale all together, filling the lungs and releasing out of the mouth. One more. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale, release out. Placing the hands at heart center. Lifting them up to your forehead. The divine magic in me sees the divine magic in you. We bow down. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I hope you have really enjoyed this flow, and I hope the audio is okay. This is the first live audio I've done, I guess, rather than just a voiceover. So you get to know me a bit more, and my personality and how I teach in person. So really hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have a good rest of your day or evening, wherever you are. Sending all the love, and hopefully see you in the next video.